What's going on, you guys? It's Royce Jacob. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Stock Talk, a series I make whenever I feel it's necessary, where we cover some exciting news and price action in regard to some of the stocks we've been talking about on the channel. In today's case, you know the deal. We are touching on a few crypto blockchain related stocks, some crazy price action in this sector today. We have some solid news to go along with it to justify that price action as well. So I'm excited to take a look at the charts with you guys and get into that news. Okay, so as always, we will go over each topic that we're going to be discussing and then we'll dive into each one individually. In front of us, OSTK, Overstock on TradingView, which is where, as always, we will be looking at all the charts today. So excited to get into the charts so you guys know what I'm thinking in terms of potential price action. We will then again go on to some news that covers and justifies some of this price action. So Overstock, so crazy, you guys, so crazy to just have watched this thing grow. If you've been keeping up, you would know that we've talked about Overstock for a while now. So super exciting, especially obviously when it's part of your portfolio, to see days like this, to see green and like parabolic price action like this. So up 3,600% since its bottom back in March. Crazy. This is crazy numbers. This is one of the strongest stocks and asset classes like overall that I've ever experienced in my years as a trader. So I mean, again, excited to have this as a part of my portfolio and excited to talk about it with you guys. Okay, so this is following an analyst upgrade. We'll get into that. I'm not going to talk about it too much now. But trust me, we will kick it off with that. And then we will get into some news also about Riot Blockchain. So Riot's been doing real well with just dropping news. Okay, and that's what I've been saying about Riot for so long is this year specifically, starting in 2020, they've released so much tangible good news. And as a company, they're doing really good things. Okay, so Riot has, in my eyes, like broken itself off of kind of the hype train and just a speculative hype play to a company that's actually doing tangible things and making moves. Okay, so they just announced the purchase of 8,000 ant miners or mining machines from bitmain. So this is huge. Obviously, the more mining machines, the more computing power you have, the more Bitcoin you can accumulate, and the more Bitcoin you have, the more profits you make. Okay, so obviously good news for Riot. We will touch on that. We will also touch on Grayscale. Okay, so Grayscale Bitcoin, this is the stock that I always say could potentially outperform Bitcoin. So this is a Bitcoin trust. That's what Grayscale is. They pretty much hold your Bitcoin for you. If you invest in their stock, you're investing in them, and the fact that they will hold almost custody of your Bitcoin for you. Okay, so we will talk about this. I'll let you guys know once again why I think this stock could outperform Bitcoin itself. So we'll touch on that, and then we'll also touch on Mara. Okay, so no news in regard to Mara, but Mara. It's weird, you guys, because as I'm sure you know if you've been keeping up, Bitcoin is it saw some crazy price action last night. So we once again broke 12K. Huge news for Bitcoin, and you'd think Mara, along with the miners or along with the rest of the sector, to be honest, would be up today. It was down, and I just want to give you guys my take on that and let you guys know why I don't believe this sector is directly correlated with Bitcoin, although it makes sense to think that way, but trust me, you guys, nothing is directly correlated, but I'm just in this for the long term and I'm keeping my eyes on the prize down the road. Okay, so we will cover that, and you guys know the deal here. Before we get into it, we will cover the article, cover the fundamentals first before getting into the technicals. Also, I will ask you guys to please give the video a like if you do go on to gain value from it. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and check out my complete portfolio and daily newsletter. First link in the description if you're interested in my exact trades on some of these stocks. All right, so after monster 3,600 rally off pandemic low, Overstock can still jump another 50% as it benefits from seismic forces. Quite the statement there. Piper Sandler says. All right, so I'll just read you guys these highlights. I do recommend you guys go on to look at all of these articles or just do your own research. As always, not financial advice. You guys know the deal here. But I'll just read you guys the highlights and give you guys kind of my bird's eye view take on this. Okay, so since its pandemic low on March 18th, shares of Overstock have posted an eye-popping rally of 3,600% as of Friday's close. So even more than that as of now, like significantly more, thanks in part to positive trends in its e-commerce business. And according to Piper Sandler's, Overstock's rally will continue as the new and improved company benefits from seismic forces. In a note published on Monday, Piper initiated Overstock.com with an overweight rating and a $140 price target, representing 50% upside from its Friday close. If Overstock does reach Piper's $140 price target, it will represent a 5,400% rally from the March 18th low. Okay, so again, Overstock to this day, it's up 3,600%. It's already established itself as an absolute titan, as honestly a specimen within the markets. Okay, again, I don't think I can recall ever seeing an asset like Overstock, just with the strength that it's had over the past couple months. All right, and $140 price target, not too crazy considering it just rallied like 27% today, so it's already at almost $120. $140 would take it. So if it does do as I expected to, and once again end up retesting this upper line of resistance, which is pretty conservative, you guys, because keep in mind, when I do draw these upward trend lines, I never use the ultimate high. Okay, so I could have just like gotten this and gone like that, and it becomes significantly more bullish considering how steep this line actually is. It doesn't look that steep in these terms just because Overstock is so parabolic, but like it actually looks more like this. Okay, so the more you expand it, obviously the steeper it gets. This is very steep, and I think this is a pretty conservative upward trend line. I think it will likely use this as a line of resistance as opposed to, again, trying a trend line like that. Although it could, I'm not saying it couldn't. This makes more sense to me. This is more reasonable in my mind. So again, if it does come up and try to test this analyst price target, $140, then it's likely to hit it tomorrow. Okay, so again, I'm not guaranteeing that, but I think definitely over the course of the next week or so, because again, this stock is just seeing so much momentum, so much volume. And again, on the 4 hour, which I do mention, 4 hour as far as like even like medium, long term, more medium, sometimes short term as well. So sorry about that. More medium term time frames I do use a lot in terms of like just looking at the time, like the candles, the 4 hour candles. I do like when gauging medium term price action. Okay, so again, but I mean, it doesn't really matter which candles you use for this. At any point, if it does come up to retest this off of this news, again, it has so much momentum behind it right now, it would likely hit it tomorrow, or at least it's destined to hit it tomorrow as far as these technicals are concerned. But even if it doesn't, it could pull back, you never know. But I do expect it at some point in the near future to once again retest this line. And again, because this line is so steep, again, tomorrow it's at 140. If you go just to the end of the month, it's at like 170. Okay, so Overstock, let's take a look at their market cap quick. Overstock is sitting at just a $5 billion market cap. So they did break a $5 billion market cap for the first time today. And also want to mention, I didn't preface this before, but you guys have been, if you aren't familiar with my previous Overstock episodes, you may be like, how is this a crypto or blockchain stock? Okay, so Overstock is kind of experiencing a double whammy in the best of ways, and it kind of does justify this wild price action. Okay, so Overstock, obviously they have overstock.com, which is kind of like a bootleg Amazon, not even bootleg, but just almost like a discount Ross kind of Amazon-y thing for furniture. All right, so it's kind of it's hard to explain, but you guys, if you look at the website, you'd understand it. It's just like e-commerce for furniture. That's how I should have summed it up initially. But they have that going for them. Obviously, everyone's home. They want furniture. Everyone's renovating their homes in this corona economy, in this pandemic. Everyone's locked at home. They want to improve their homes at a discount. Obviously, who doesn't want cheap furniture? So Overstock is excelling there. Their last earnings report did highlight the success of their e-commerce facing just revenue stream, but they also have T0, so that's the double whammy. That's why they're a crypto company. So T0, you guys look into it if you're not familiar, is a crypto exchange owned by Overstock and Medici Ventures, which is like a subsidiary and arm of Overstock. All right, so they have two really powerful trends working in their favor right now, and it would not surprise me at all with those, again, just fundamental powers that be, to see them once again come up and retest this uptrend, this line of resistance at whichever point. Again, you guys, it's so steep, it's hard to just define anything, but at some point, probably before the end of the month, I would guess it will likely come up and once again retest this uptrend. Okay, so Overstock, so much momentum going for it. It's crazy that, like, my personal Overstock position has been like just kind of set it and forget it, and I've held Overstock not since March low. I wish I could say I did hold it through the March lows, but I've held Overstock for years now. Like, I've had an Overstock position just for a long time, so I believed in them for a long time. Now reaping the benefits of that, so exciting to see. So exciting times for Overstock. Let's move on to Riot. Riot also seeing some solid news today. Let's go with Riot. Let's go to like the 1 hour to make it look a little more digestible, right? So Riot, obviously smaller company, you're going to have lower volume, so that's why when you look at it on those higher time frames, it's gonna look super gappy and a little more wild. So anyway, Riot pretty closely falling. Trust me, you guys, you can go back and validate this if you don't believe me, but I have not touched these lines that I've drawn since late last week, whenever I did the crypto convo, I believe was the last time I did an analysis on Riot. So I mean, pretty darn closely following these. It did beat kind of my expectation for this, obviously with today's after hour movement. So let's turn on quickly, move my fat head. Let's turn on after hours real quick so you guys can see the after hours movement. I know at one point it was up about it was up like 9% after hours. I think it ended up closing after hours trading around, sorry, just rambling here. So after hours, let's see what's going on with Riot here after hours. So after hours, yeah, you see here, we were up. I'm not going to go on to any shorter time frames, but you can see we were up to 450. So yeah, we were up 9% after hours. I wish to show the percentage change on the right here. I don't know why TradingView does that, but up about 9%. I believe it did close after hours trading up about 4%. So still great news. Again, following this article, which we will get into prior to, I should just turn that off. So this kind of slows the chart down, so I don't like just having this automatically on. Okay, so get myself back down in the corner, and then let's take a look at this news, and then we will jump into to a little more of a technical analysis. Okay, so Riot Blockchain announces a milestone purchase of 8,000 S19 Pro AM miners from bitmain, with delivery starting January 2021, resulting in 1.45 EH whatever in total hash rate. All right, so once again, Riot, great news. An important thing to remember, you guys, is this, like, they didn't just buy cash 8,000 amp miners, okay? It's also physically impossible to do that. The mining company bitmain cannot physically produce just that many. They don't just have that many amp miners sitting around and just mining machines. So let's read this and I'll expand on that a little more. Riot announces the execution of a purchase agreement for 8,000 next generation bitmain S19 Pro amp miners for US dollars for 17.7 mil from bitmain PTE or bitmain for receipt and deployment starting in January 2021. Due to the substantial size of the order, Riot secured a lower cost per miner as compared to previous purchases, despite the recent increase in the price of Bitcoin, which historically has increased the purchasing price of miners. This purchase agreement has a defined delivery schedule of 2,000 S19 Pros per month starting January 2021 and continuing through April 2021 until the order is complete. So again, you guys, this isn't just 8,000 in hand, like one-time contract. Obviously, the logistically does not make sense, but this just reassures me of everything I believe for Riot, and the trend Riot is setting is they're making a legitimate effort to scale their business, okay? And you can obviously tell with Bitcoin, I've said it a lot, the Bitcoin bull market is here. The 2020 Bitcoin bull market is officially here in my mind. And with the price of Bitcoin going up, obviously Riot is looking to expand their operations as fast as possible before Bitcoin goes into the stratosphere, which it has proven the ability to do in the past, all right? So they're trying to scale as fast as possible. Get as much Bitcoin, and again, it doesn't like, obviously they're paid in Bitcoin, so the price of Bitcoin will always they'll always be paid in Bitcoin. So the price of Bitcoin goes up, they make more money. It doesn't really matter exactly when you get that. Obviously they'd like to mine with the price of Bitcoin higher, but again, in anticipation of a significantly higher in value Bitcoin, they want as many miners on possible. They want all hands on deck. Okay, so they are making the effort. They're making tangible steps to expand their operations, and that's good. That's what you look for when you invest in any company. And again, I'm long-term on bullish on Riot. I've said that many times. Although we are focusing on the short term here, I know that's what you guys want to know. That's what a lot of people are concerned about. I'll let you guys know I probably won't close my Riot position fully for the next decade or so. Okay, that's my time horizon on Riot. Obviously, I will be taking profits along the way. I took a little bit of profits off the top today. I explained that in the newsletter this morning. I do have a strategy for taking profits when you see significant moves up in assets like this, especially such highly volatile assets. So let's take a look at Riot's market cap real quick. Again, you guys, just still under $150 million. That's that's such a tiny market cap in the grand scheme of things, especially in a market with so much new money in it and so much retail interest. A bunch of new traders, new hands wanting a piece of innovational, just game-changing, world-changing companies. That's what Riot is. Riot is on the cusp of a brand new technology. And again, it's part of a sector that's so young and still has so much growth potential ahead of it, all right? So Riot, again, tooting my own horn a little bit, pretty darn closely following these arrows I draw. Again, you guys, this is like just a general idea, but it's always validating to see it follow it, especially this closely. So I do still expect Riot to once again test this trend line right here that has been setting since late July. So that's kind of the shorter term trend line. This one over here is a trend line that dates back, a very strong trend line that it set when it initially started rallying back in May, I believe. So if it does, I think at the very least it'll bounce off this trend line around the 575 region pretty soon. Over the course of this week, I would expect to see this happen, to be completely honest. But it could also follow this trend line, which is a very solid upward trend line as well, that has started in this recent rally in late July again. So just a couple weeks old, this recent rally, and I wouldn't be surprised at all to see it come up to this trend line around here at like the $650 level. Okay, so you guys understand that, like similar to Overstock, these lines are super steep. It may not look like it because I just have them kind of expand a little bit. But I mean, these two trend lines, no matter, again, right here is at 640, right here it's at like 580. So that's a significant percentage spread. But again, you guys, I have such a long-term time horizon on Riot. I'm just bullish it'll happen. There will be volatility along the way, but I want you guys to understand this applies with Bitcoin, so many other assets that you believe in fundamentally, like I believe in this sector. It's still so early, okay? And the strong hands always win out in the long run, especially in this market full of weak hands. Like I said, like it's great that new traders are getting into this, but you see a red day, like obviously you're super pumped on the green days. You see a red day, you get scared, you panic sell, right? That's how people lose money. You just have to be aware of that and keep your hands strong and like focus on the fact that you need to play the long game in order to succeed, like net. Like to net succeed, obviously, like every day fluctuates, especially in stocks this volatile. But I'm gonna stop the rant here. I just want to encourage you guys to keep your hands strong, keep your eyes on the prize, focus on the long game, because you will ultimately win as opposed to trying to day trade these. If you play the long, okay? So that's right. Again, you guys, I do expect it to once again test one of these upper lines of resistance with this news, with the momentum behind Bitcoin and Riot. I would expect it to honestly hit this upper one around the mid $6 region, okay? So that's Riot. Excited to keep you guys posted on that. Excited to see what happens tomorrow, considering that after hours movement and news. So let's move on to Mara quick. Mara is kind of almost playing out this head and shoulders. So let's hope it doesn't completely. I truly can't imagine it will. Just again, with Bitcoin doing well right now, I think this was just a little bit of panic. Obviously, technicals do play a factor. I think there might be some traders seeing this head and shoulders like I am, and that is scaring some people out. But again, you guys, obviously this won't play out. It will now change to I don't think it's gonna go parabolic like that, but you guys get the deal. Worst case scenario is this plays out a head and shoulders and then continues an uptrend. Okay, that's what's gonna happen. It will I mean, this is a significant fall, but I think if it does play this out, it will bounce off like the mid $2 region area. This is a huge gap that it has to fill, so it could likely actually just come down to where it gapped up at like the $285, $290 region. But I don't personally believe it'll fall lower than that. I don't think this thing's dead by any means. It could potentially see a correction, but again, you guys, similar to Riot, I'm just so like long-term bullish. My time horizon on these, all my call options are long-term on both Riot and Mara. So it's like the day-to-day doesn't faze me. It hurts, it stings, but my eyes are on the prize. Like I'm just focusing on the long term. I just don't care about the day to day. Okay, so that I do condone that as like just a characteristic to build. If the daily movement does scare you, if today's price action does scare you, because again, it is scary, but just focus on the long. Trust me, you guys, it's better. You sleep better at night. It's better overall in every aspect. Okay, so that's Mara. I mean, I'm still bullish long. I have to keep you guys posted. I can't say anything really confidently right now, considering we could see this head and shoulders play out. So I'm not going to try to make a super bullish optimistic claim, although it could. Again, you see, it could hopefully bounce up tomorrow. We'll see. But I mean, I'm focused once again on the medium to long term. All right, so that is Marathon Patent Group. Let's close it out with Grayscale Bitcoin. So again, Grayscale Bitcoin is Grayscale is the largest holder of Bitcoin in the world. They are a Bitcoin trust. They own, I think, close to like 2% of all Bitcoin in circulation right now, and they hold it for the people who want to invest in them. And in exchange for holding it in the custody solution, they do take a percentage. Okay, so you pay a premium for Grayscale to custody your Bitcoin for you, and that's their business. All right, so here's why Grayscale Bitcoin Trust was rising Monday. We'll just read this real quick. So what? The obvious reason the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is rising is the price of Bitcoin was higher. At about 12,300, Bitcoin is now up by 70% in 2020. Impressive. However, with a gain of less than 4% on the day, it doesn't explain the move all by itself. In addition, Grayscale announced approval for 2 new investment trusts to be tied to digital currencies, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin. This adds to the Bitcoin Trust, as well as Grayscale's Ethereum and Ethereum Classic Trusts, and could boost trading volume in the digital currency world in general. Okay, so this is something that I always say as well, you guys, like with moves in Bitcoin, like the kingpin. Bitcoin is the kingpin of the cryptocurrency sector, and you're seeing the rest of the cryptocurrency sector do extremely well as well. Okay, so Ether, XRP, EOS just ran up. Chainlink obviously been ripping. They're all guilty by association, okay, and it works both ways. So the Bitcoin seeing green, Ether seeing green, it's likely that there's going to be other coins seeing green as well, and the same vice versa. Okay, so the cryptocurrency sector is seeing, once again, it has solidified the 2020 bull run. I think that it will rally again significantly over the course of the next 6 months. I think we will see new highs in Bitcoin personally by the end of the year. Remember, you guys, it could very well not happen. I don't know, but that's what my gut's telling me. Okay. Great feeling about this. GBTC obviously more correlated to Bitcoin than all of these. And again, you guys, Mara, Riot, they're gonna move in a sense to Bitcoin, but you can't expect them to be directly correlated. I think that's the trouble a lot of people get themselves into, especially with Mara. This is a perfect example. So I should have said this. Mara, you see the red today. Everyone's panicking. Why isn't Mara correlated with Bitcoin? It's a Bitcoin mining company, right? It should obviously be correlated. Everyone's thinking that. And then when you see red, when Bitcoin's seeing green, it's like, oh, they aren't correlated. I thought they were correlated. And it makes people scared that it's lost correlation. It's no longer correlated. And then everyone just panic sells. Okay, so there's obviously, that's what I saw in Mara today. It's just a bunch of panic selling. So hopefully you didn't play a role in that. But I mean, that's just the game, you guys. Like, you have to always get psychological about it. That's this game. This is a game of, I mean, this is a cerebral game, you guys. This is a game of psychology, okay? So keep that in mind. It doesn't faze me. I'm focused on the long. So I just wanted to get that out of the way, sorry. But again, GBTC closely following Bitcoin. This is going to be the most correlated to Bitcoin over any other asset. Again, you do pay that premium for GBTC for Grayscale as a custodian solution to hold your Bitcoin for you, okay? So that is actually why I think Grayscale could outperform Bitcoin, is because currently, I don't have the chart up. I wish I did. I will in a future video. But Grayscale's premium is currently at the lowest levels it's been for a long time. So that means that the trend is likely to shift, especially as so much more institutional interest specifically gets into this. And again, I live in Hawaii. I can't actually buy Bitcoin anymore. All the Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies I own is from 2017 when I initially got in. And I've just been trading around pretty successfully at that. But I've just been trading that same crypto that I had in 2017. I don't plan on liquidating that anytime in the near future at all. But Grayscale, I live in Hawaii. I can't trade Bitcoin. I can trade Grayscale though. On TD Ameritrade, you can't do it on Robinhood if you guys don't know that. But I use TD Ameritrade to purchase Grayscale. It's an over-the-counter, so you do have to pay $6 a trade, which kind of sucks, but it's not a big deal. Just focus on the long. So Grayscale, very correlated with Bitcoin, obviously more than any of the other assets we will be talking about. Let's go to the 5-year here just to see what Grayscale is capable of. And again, you can see this, guys. So Bitcoin is currently, what do these two look like together? So let's take a look. You know what? Here, we'll take a look at so trading view right there. So we'll take a look at trading view as well we'll take a look at Bitcoin on trading view as well right next to it, just to see how correlated Grayscale and Bitcoin are. Okay, so BTC USD, currently at almost 12.4K. Very good news. So let's do a little side by side here. All right, so we're currently at Grayscale on the weekly, Bitcoin on the weekly too. Let's go to 5 years here. Same. So weekly, we'll zoom out here. So Bitcoin, you can see, is pretty closely, so it's very closely correlated to Grayscale, but you can see the highs from Grayscale are very far from where they are now. So it's currently at about $15. The high at when Bitcoin hit $20,000 was at $40. Okay, so you could still see almost a 3x to get to where it was. Bitcoin only needs to about less than 2x. Okay, so that gap is super significantly different. Bitcoin doesn't even need to 2x to get to its previous high, but Grayscale is just over a 3x to get to its previous high, or just under a 3x, I'm sorry. Okay, so I mean, Grayscale, that's where the premium comes into play. You do pay a premium, and that's why I do think Grayscale can excel as opposed to Bitcoin, because especially with institutional interest in this. So institutions, there's a lot of regulatory legal hoops that you still have to jump through as a large, like hedge funds, whales in the space. It's hard for them to just custody Bitcoin without paying like a crazy fee and like a bunch of other hoops they have to jump through, okay? But they can just go in and buy Grayscale. So they can pay Grayscale, they will accumulate Grayscale to get a stake in Bitcoin, okay? And that's the most likely factor for most institutions. Over time, that will likely change. They'll probably like ease up. We'll see. But right now, that's what we're focusing on, the now. And Grayscale is the ultimate solution for institutional interest. Any institutions who are interested, any super large players within the financial markets who want a piece of Bitcoin, they will likely go through Grayscale and pick up GBTC. Okay, so similar to that, I do think that we will once again test just on a super macro level. Again, you guys, I'm not trying to day trade these. I want to let you guys know that once again. But I think that, again, I'm expecting Bitcoin. If you see here, my expectation is for Bitcoin to reach like the 17K region by mid-September. Again, very optimistic, could very well not happen. That's just kind of what I'm guessing with all the fundamental momentum behind it. But GBTC, I'm a little more conservative. I don't think it will reach kind of this top, which is like the area. If I went with that, it would be like the $30 region. But I actually think it'll come in around these weekly candles that it spent some time in during that rally at about $25. Okay. So still very bullish. You're still seeing like, what is that, like an 80% price appreciation or something like that, 75, 80%, whatever. But I mean, there's so much fundamental momentum behind Bitcoin right now, you guys, and understand that. Like technicals, I do put weight on technicals. That's why we're looking at the charts right now. But the fundamentals always are the base layer for my opinions. And I'm just so fundamentally bullish on Bitcoin and crypto right now that the fundamentals, I will find the fundamentals to back up my just my initial thoughts around the fundamentals. Okay, so that's I just want to let you guys know that I'm for the last time, if you guys didn't know already, after I've said it 20 times, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I think this is the beginning of the new bull market, and I'm just super excited to keep you guys posted on this, to keep you guys as educated as I possibly can, and to learn from you guys as well. So as always, feel free to drop me a comment down below. Love learning from you guys. Let me know what you're excited about in the sector right now. Again, there are a lot of other plays within this sector that we haven't talked about today, and also that I do have a stake in. So as always, you guys, if you do want to know my exact positions, all call options, put options, stock positions, crypto positions, check out the complete portfolio newsletter, first link in the description, exactly as it states. Along with that, I do send out a newsletter every trading day talking about the trades I made that day, rationalizing my thoughts, and just giving you guys my overall opinions on the market as a whole. Okay, so it's more real-time updates from myself if you're interested in that. If not, no worries at all. But yeah, I appreciate it if you do check it out. And once again, give the video a like if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and want to catch more content like this. And again, please feel free to drop a comment below. I love talking to you guys, love learning from you guys, and I look forward to just keeping you guys posted on what is the next cryptocurrency bull market and blockchain crypto related stock bull market, in my opinion too. Okay, so until then, you guys, always remember, take action, make waves, peace.